I am Dungeon Thrasher Lenny Blade, and this is the Dungeons and Thrashers show. Now, as some of you may or may not know, I am situated in Korat in northeastern Thailand. And so you would think it's difficult to find groups to play with, tabletop role-playing games and war games and things like that. But I've actually been quite fortunate in that we have two campaigns going. So we have one weekly campaign and then we have one bi-weekly, which is sort of our secondary campaign. And we just finished both of them. The bi-weekly campaign we finished this week, and the weekly campaign we finished last week. And so today I'd like to just do a little document about the World of Warcraft sort of fan-made Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition conversion kind of thing that we've been playing for the past 16 months or so. So, and after that I will upload the Middle-earth campaign, which has been sort of the secondary campaign for about a year maybe. Anyway, so without further ado, let's take a look at the World of Warcraft campaign.
Alright, and this is the system that we're using. This is the fan-written player's handbook that I printed out and I put in a binder. And I don't know who it was written by, so sorry, but thank you guys, whoever wrote this one. So we've had a lot of fun with your product, but before we get into the actual game, here's some of the food and the edibles and snack and everything that's served by Kirk, the host, and his wonderful wife Noi every week we play. So that's absolutely awesome. And we also have fruits, more snack, puddings, all kinds of stuff, beer, and also other drinks, as you can see here. So we will take a look at John's setup and what he brings. I mean, look at all this stuff that John brings every week. As you can see, I do like his setup here, where he has printed one page for us to see what the monsters look like, and then he has the information on the other side of the DM screen. That's cool. We also use Owlbear Rodeo for the tactical combat in this campaign. But we'll talk more about that. So let's introduce the players. Hey, look who's here! Yes. Alright, what you can see here is the final hall and the final boss of the campaign. This campaign has been a mix of fan-written material and John's own stuff. And we've enjoyed it thoroughly, despite no one except for John had any previous experience with the IP. I mean, I played the earlier games in the series before it became an MMORPG. Up until Frozen Throne, I believe. And I tried to go online and do a little bit of research, but there are just so many World of Warcraft 5e conversions to choose from, and I couldn't be bothered to do the research. So I'm sorry I can't name anyone because I don't know which version John used. So, thank you for everyone to everyone who has been doing all these conversions. Anyways, for combat we used Owlbear Rodeo. In this particular campaign, to resolve the tactical combat. And, there's been a lot of combat, and that's definitely John's, our DM's strong side. We could have as many as 5 or 6 battles in one session. I mean, it was really effective, and also John's familiarity with the source material, being able to describe locations, spell effects, answering questions on a whim, all this. The only thing I missed a little bit was getting to explore the world a little bit more freely and, interact more with the world and with the NPCs. We went all the way from level 1 to level 12 before fighting, spoiler alert, the final boss, Niru Fireblade. And I normally play stealth-based thief rogue characters, but I played a mage in this campaign, and I'm telling you, playing a level 12 mage magic user feels pretty damn powerful. I was animating objects and casting high-level fireballs all over the place. The Warcraft-specific spells worked well as well, and although they felt a little bit unbalanced, I have to say, other than that, it was really cool. The setting in general did a good job at distinguishing itself from a regular 5e campaign like Forgotten Realms, for example. The campaign went on for a year and 4 months, and we played weekly, with anything between 3 and 6 players. We lost a couple of players along the way. And we just finished it off last week, so now John gets to rest and prepare his next campaign, which might be in a year or so, because our weekly campaign from now on for the next year or so will be run by Mr. Kirk Reed, whom you might remember from my Spelljammer episode. We did a joint review of Wizards of the Coast's box set. And Kirk's campaign will be run using D&D 3.5 rules, which is his favorite rule set, and miniatures, because Kirk has a lot of miniatures. Owlbear Rodeo was okay for what it was. It was very effective, especially for combat. But, you can't really beat miniatures, moving miniatures around the gridded map, battle map, and that's what we'll be doing. So during this campaign, each of us had a character story arc, kind of, that we went through. So we all got to feel a little bit like the main protagonist at some point in the campaign, with our story arc being explored and so on. We do have a couple of house rules as well, as we're not completely happy with the 5th edition, most of us, but I'm not going to get into those here. Maybe I'll do that in a separate episode. So yeah, we thoroughly enjoyed the campaign, and we're looking forward to our next campaign. So thank you to John for preparing stuff for us every week. Thanks to Kirk and his wonderful wife Noi for hosting, and to the other players as well. See ya!